Yeah.
Okay. Great. Okay, our first speaker for today is Muhammad Mustafa Mustafa Arai. He's a distinguished student leader and advocate for public health and medical education, currently pursuing his Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery at Bayero University, Kano. He has served as the Northwest Regional Coordinator, Nigerian Medical Students Association in 2023, State Officer, NIMSA Standing Committee on Public Health, Local Officer, NIMSA Technical Office on Medical Students' Rights, Northwest Regional PRO, NIMSA Standing Committee on Capacity Building, and also the Vice President 2 of the Bayero University Medical Students Association. He also served as the PRO 2 of the Bayero University Medical Students Association. And his events he has attended the NIMSA International Health and Leadership Summit, Standing Committee on Capacity Building, Northwest Regional Leadership Summits, and several other NIMSA General Assemblies and events. Most importantly, he was the NIMSA presidential candidate from BUMSA for the year 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to welcome His Honorable to the stage, Mr. Soon-to-be Dr. Muhammad Mustafa Karai. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you, Abdullah. Thank you very much for the wonderful introduction. It's really an honor to be here with you. Good evening, everyone. Is Mr. President here? Mr. President, sir, other members of the Executive Council, and the host of the program, and my fellow Moonsites. Good evening. Um, Well, the topic of discussion is about NIMSA, how to navigate NIMSA, how to be part of NIMSA, and how to be active, and much more. So I think I will take my part to introduce NIMSA to you and to discuss about some things, especially the leadership structure of the association, how it works, and most certainly the eligibility, when and where the elections, take place, and what you need before you contest for the offices mentioned. But then I don't know if I'm audible. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. So NIMSA stands for Nigerian Medical Students Association. It is the official representative body of all medical students studying in a recognized Nigerian medical school, irrespective of nationality. So, if you are studying in a Nigerian medical school, um, whether you are a Nigerian or not, you are a NIMSite. So, I think defined what NIMSA is and who is a NIMSite. NIMSA was established in 1968 as the student body representing medical students in Nigeria. And then, of course, NIMSA is affiliated to many other bodies, associations. The most certain one is the International Federation of Medical Student Association. That's like the World Association of Medical Students. You can put it that way. So IFMSA, International Federation of Medical Student Associations. Um, and then locally here we have the elder body, the Nigerian Medical Association, which is also an affiliate body. NIMSA is affiliated to Nigerian Medical Association. Well, many people might be wondering why I didn't mention Federation of African Medical Student Association. That's FAMSA. In FAMSA, the leadership structure does not recognize a national member organization. That's NMO. Like in FAMSA, you stand just like the way individual medical schools stand as members in Nigeria. That's NIMSA. So in African Medical Students Association too, this medical school stands individually as members. So NIMSA as a whole is not a direct affiliate of FAMSA. Okay, so now I think I'll proceed to the leadership structure of the association. But then I think there are some objectives and what the association, you know, stands to benefit the students, especially it's to cater for the general welfare and interest and defends the right of all medical student association. And then it has a lot of, other contribution towards the improvement of health institutions and also providing like a platform for medical students to thrive and to also express themselves, because without NIMSA, a medical student individually cannot really be heard much as an association. And I think currently we are having close to 100 medical schools in the country and almost 100,000 medical students. So you can see the number and the power of the Nigerian Medical Students Association. The leadership of the association simply comprised of um, the National Executive Council, that's the NEC, and the National Officers Council, that's the NEC and NOC. I think maybe before we get to explain what NEC and NOC comprise of, we must understand, okay, which offices are elected and which offices are appointed. We have offices that you contest for and you get elected. You get elected to, and the offices that you can only be appointed into. So the offices that you can contest and get elected are number one, the president, the vice president. We have the vice president internal affairs and the vice president external affairs, and we have other standing committees. Standing committee on capacity building, standing committee. We have 9 standing committees. I'll mention them now. Maybe there's no need to be mentioning them again later. We have standing committee on medical education. We have standing committee on policy and implementation. We have standing committee on human rights and peace. Then we have standing committee on capacity building. We have standing committee on research exchange. We have standing committee on professional exchange. We have standing committee on um, on reproductive health and rights, including HIV/AIDS. We have standing committee on environmental and population activities, and we have standing committee on which we have standing committee on research. I think I mentioned research exchange, right? So we have standing committee on public health. Most important, I forgot to mention standing committee on public health. So these are the 9 standing committees, and including the president, the vice president, and the vice president internal and the vice president external are the offices that you can contest for and you get elected. But the president is a secretariat. The presidency is a secretariat bid. I can Let me put it this way: that when you are contesting for the president, the same school that is contesting for the president must provide the secretary and the treasurer for them to be elected at once. This eliminates the right for the president to sack the treasurer. Before 2023, the president appoints the treasurer and the secretary. So it's only the president that you elect. But after 2023, when the constitution was reviewed here in Kano, it is now a secretariat bid where you can only the president, the secretary, and treasurer must be contested, and they will be elected at once. So whoever you elect whoever is contesting for a president must provide the secretary and treasurer candidate together. Then you vote them in block. That's a secretariat bid. You bid for the presidency all together with the presidency and the secretariat. Um, so now I think the concept is understood. So the National Executive Council comprised of the president, the vice president's internal and external affairs, the standing committee directors, and the MSA president. The various any school that is offering medicine and surgery and is registered and has been recognized, has registered with the Nigerian Medical Student Association is a medical student association, an MSA. That is like NIMSA is the federal government, then the MSAs are the state governments. Let me put it this way. So the MSAs are the local associations of every school. We have the Bayero University Medical Student Association, BUMSA, we call it PUMSA. Then there are many other schools. In Kano, we have Northwest University Medical Students Association. We have Erazi University Medical Students Association, Mayam Abacha University Medical, and many others. There are other MSs too in other regions. So the president of these schools, plus the president, vice president, internal and external affairs, and the standing committee directors are the NEC members, that's the National Executive Council. And the NOC comprised of only the president, the vice president's external and internal affairs, the standing committee directors, and the appointees of the president. Um, so now, going back to what I initially mentioned, that we have elected offices and appointed offices. So the elected positions, which I mentioned, are all part of the NEC and NOC. But then the president has the right to make appointment into various offices. The most notable ones are the not regional coordinators. Every region, the president will appoint a regional coordinator, which will be like coordinating the affairs of NIMSA in that region. And it's also he is expected to work hand in hand with the president of various MSS in that particular region, together navigate the affairs of the association. So the president will appoint people, various name sites into various offices. I think we are waiting the appointment list now, and the way the process is after the election of the new president, there is an open call for application for people to apply into various positions at the the National Officers Council and National Executive Council. So when you apply through various, selection criteria and everything, someone will get appointed. So when you're appointed, you are also part of the National Officers Council and the National Executive Council. Then the MSA presidents are only part of the National Executive Council. So the elected and appointed officers are all expected to work together, and they will work hand in hand. And where the work intersects, they collaborate and move the association forward. And then we have events. I think I want to keep to the time I was given, so I will rush through. Um, we have events, both national and local events. So in the national events, I will just introduce the event. So I know there are speakers that are meant to speak deeply on that. Um, the events that we have at the national level, one, we have like full physical events. Then there will be various, activities within from various offices. But the key standard, like physical events that we have, the national ones are the National Executive Council meeting at the first quarter of the year, then the NIMSA Health Week, then the the NIMSA Games, and then the NIMSA General Assembly, plus the NIMSA International Health Summit, which is like um, an organized program that usually holds every year. But the NIMSA games only take place biannually. So the NIMSA games, we have the NIMSA games in 2024, like we did in 2024. The next NIMSA games will be this year. So in 2025, we've not had a NIMSA games program. So these are the key physical events. So we have other events from various offices, activities, medical outreaches, summits, um, symposiums, and many other activities. So the national events, the local events, local event comprise of many events, right from the presidency, from the appointees, from the elected officers, from their appointees too, because these appointees and the elected officers too will make appointments for people that will help them discharge their activities. So when you are appointed or when you got elected, you are expected also to form a team of volunteers that will help you. So that will help you navigate the task. And these officers too can initiate and bring up some programs, either virtual or physical programs. So I think in general this is like the whole idea of how the programs are. There will be many discuss. There will be a very detailed discussion about the programs. Then there is also okay. So now I have discussed about what NIMSA is, who is a NIMSA, the year of establishment, the affiliations the association has, and the structure, the leadership structure of the association. We have the elected and appointed officers. I explained what NEC and NOC is, and all this work together, harmonize and work together. So in a case where, okay, in a case where I think I will discuss about the rotation next. Then after the rotation, I will discuss about eligibility. The rotation of the association of these offices. So these offices do not really um are not really open for everyone to contest. Like I just mentioned them, they are moving across the six geopolitical regions of the country. So when we have six geopolitical regions, and these offices are also moving to that moving in that order across the six geopolitical regions in the country. And what prompted this was there were a lot of issues in the past. There were a lot of issues and crises in the past because there before it was open, everyone can contest, and there were a lot of issues. You know, the Nigeria is a very vast and a very big country. There will be many interests, and at the end, we were having a factional NIMSA. That's when you have a leadership that will be saying it's we are the eligible and declared rightful leaders of the association. Then others too will declare their interest. So there were many incidents of that um, factional leadership and others. So in resolution of these issues, I think there was a temporary resolution where the north and south will be the positions will be rotating north versus south. This is a long story. I think that's a story for another day. So we had that for a very, for some few years, I think very few years, where if this year the North have these positions, then the following year, the South will have this position. Then the following year, the positions will shift. The ones that the South had will be, the North will have it. Then the ones that the North had, the South will have it. But then in 2017, that was when this rotation was established across the six geopolitical regions of the country. So the constitution was amended in Gombe in 2017, and a rotation was established. So the way the rotation starts, I will call the order of the rotation. The first is the south south. Number one, when you move like that from the south south to northwest, I will mention the how these regions move. Then I will just explain how the presidency move and how the offices move. So the south south, then the northwest, then southwest, then northeast, then southeast, then North Central, Southeast, then North Central. So these are the six regions, like I mentioned, starting with South South and ending with North Central. So when you have this, you have a full year, a full cycle, a full 6 years, like a full cycle of the positions. Then this will continue like that. We okay. So now the presidency, the president and the standing committee on medical education move together. So whichever region is going to have the presidency next year, they will have the the standing committee on medical education. Then right after the president, you have the vice president internal and the standing committee on policy and implementation. Then you have the vice president external together with standing committee on rights and peace. Then standing committee and capacity building follows them together with standing committee on research exchange. Then standing committee on public health moves together and follows them with standing committee on professional exchange. Then standing committee on environment and population activity moves together with standing committee on reproductive health and rights program. They all have their short names, uh, so their acronyms. So when you these are how they move. So now that we are having the presidency in North Central, the presidency next will move to Northeast. Then the vice president. Okay. So I forgot to mention. I've mentioned how the presidency moves, but then the way the position move, they move in reverse, a reverse order of the appointment. So a region now, the Southwest is having the presidency. So, but before the Southwest have the presidency now, they had the series of the standing committees I mentioned, two standing committees at a time, two Scora and Scopa, Scopi and Scof, um, then SCO-CB, capacity building, and SCO-RE. Then they will have VP external, VP internal, then the president. The president will be the last position you will have. Then you go back to that cycle. So I started mentioning the offices and the order in reverse. For the presidency is the last position you will have. You will have the standing committees. Now the Northwest region is in the best position for me to describe this. The Northwest position finished the presidency last year. So the Northwest region now will be starting a new cycle. The cycle will start from the Standing Committee on Environment and Population Activity and Standing Committee on Reproductive Health and Right, including HIV. So this is the Standing Committee the Northwest will start from. Next year, the Northwest will be having the Standing Committee on Public Health and Standing Committee on Professional Exchange. Then the following year, the Northwest will have COCB, Capacity Building, and research exchange. Then we'll have the vice president external from with right and peace committee. Then we'll have the VP internal and the standing committee on policy and implementation. Then lastly the presidency. Then the cycle will continue. So I hope like the explanation is well understood. So for eligibility, how can someone contest for for these positions? For the presidency only, for someone to be eligible to contest for the presidency, that person must have attended at least two general assemblies and two executive council meetings. Then he must have served NIMSA in a committee or has become a member of the executive council. So I explain what becoming a member means of the NEC. You can either be elected or appointed, and you must attend these programs, at least two of the programs. And attending these programs is not easy because the last general assembly was in Delta. The last one before the last was in Bielsa. So you can imagine someone traveling from Kano to Bielsa is like almost a 2 day journey. In fact, yeah, almost a 2 day journey. So it's not really easy. And these programs, come once in lifetime. But then they also rotate. Oh, it's also not by rotation, but by bidding. And that process will be explained by another speaker. What are the opportunities? By attending, by participating, it's not only by becoming a comrade, someone be calling you is a comrade. I believe now most people are into these things because they want to be called capacity. They want to be people want to they want to be praised. That these people have capacity and others. So I think the most important thing is for you to know and understand that you are into this. You need to understand why are you into this. Why do you want to participate? Do you want to just be going around with the title comrade, comrade, or capacity, capacity, or you want to really impact yourself, your life, and know what you can or what you want to achieve? Because there are a lot of opportunities that you can tap from within the association. It provides tons of opportunities that only if you see and utilize those opportunities that you'll be happy, and at least you know that you've used your time in a good way. Because if you are not there for the opportunities, you might not see them. And most of the time, people tend to I the advice I will give everyone is that once you want to start a journey, you must believe that this is a career I want to start. So NIMSA is also a career. You want to start NIMSA, you need to know what I want to achieve in NIMSA and what processes or what way will I follow to achieve these programs. And it's by proper mentorship and guidance that you get there. So you should make sure that please you are into NIMSA, you want to join NIMSA, you want to get into NIMSA, not just for the titles, but for the impact NIMSA will have on your life and for also the impact you'll make to NIMSA. So there are a lot of national and international opportunities. You know, part of the thing is um you'll network. Most importantly, you'll network. It provides, a very large platform for networking. There are a lot of people that, in fact, the I used to tell people that the friends I have from NIMSA now have exceed the friends I have, before joining NIMSA. Because when you check my contact, 60 to 70% of the contacts are from NIMSA. And the people I know from my normal, life. I see Walter here from the southwest. Sorry, from the south. Is here. He has joined the meeting, and he's one of the people I will give example with. I connected with him. I think we met in either Bayelsa or Delta last 2 years. So these are people that you connect with people, you meet people from the extreme end of the country. And I believe too, you will know that you will say that I know someone from Kano. I know someone from Calabar. I know someone from uh, Uyo. I know someone from many other places. So virtually there won't be any state in the country that you won't know someone, and that person you meet that person in you know in NIMSA. It's not in a bad way or someone that somewhere that you will be ashamed of. So rushing quickly, there are also research opportunities. Obviously, you've had me mention standing committee or research exchange and professional exchange. Someone would go deeper into explaining what that stands for. But then there is tons of opportunities for research training, research exchange, and many others. And then there are also opportunities for exchange programs. I mentioned standing committee on exchange programs. I believe the person that will speak on that exchange program would speak very well about that. Um, then it also provides mentorship opportunity. It's a very wide platform where you get mentors from many parts of the country. In fact, by just traveling, I mentioned that to some of you that I have virtually me and Abdurrahman have virtually been into to almost 31 states of the country because we traveled almost together and we've been to many places. In fact, some places not once, not twice. And we have seen a lot by traveling together. And he's someone I really appreciate. And I must use this opportunity to tell you that um, one of the people that I think in recent years Boomsa is blessed to have is Abdraman, among others. So we travel together, you get mentors, you'll be mentored. when you want to be mentored, you'll be mentored. You get mentors in NIMSA. That's all I have to say. Then there is also, you know, you gain the political exposure. Yes, there is, lot of politics too in NIMSA. So you get political exposure, health campaign and advocacy. You develop skills and capacity building. Then there are also opportunities for international conferences. So in general, this is just, the brief introduction about NIMSA. I have already exceeded my time. I'm very sorry about that. um so thank you very much. I'll pass the mic to the next speaker. Abdullah, over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It's a really wonderful session, but there's no time to make wonderful remarks. Okay, the next speaker we'll be having is the one and only Kashim Suleiman. He's a dedicated 6th-year student with a passion for transformative leadership. He has excelled in various positions with awards as the best performing officer 2023 NIMSA School CB, Award of Excellence NIMSA School CB as the most resourceful NEC member, best NEC member in NIMSA National Mentorship Program 2024. He has attended several leadership programs and has held the positions of welfare director, BUMSA, and the representative of his faculty in SRABUK, and he'll be taking the standing committee. So if you want to know all about standing committees, please listen very, very well to this session. You have the floor, sir. Before you begin, sorry, I would like to recognize the presence of the president of the Bayero University Medical Students Association, Dr. Muhammad Adamu, and the Secretary General of the Calabar University Medical Students Association, Dr. Walter. Okay, you have the floor, sir. Hello, sir, are you there? I don't know. Am I audible? Because
Yes, you are.
okay. Dr. Kashim, sir, we can't hear you.
Everyone.
Okay, we can hear you now.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. Good evening, everyone. My distinguished colleague here and my biggest comrades. I can see Comrade Muhammad Karaye, a friend and someone I highly admire and respect. The BUMSA president is also here. Good evening to all others that I cannot mention now, but and also our listeners, because I think you are one of the most important people here today. So I would like to share my screen to deliver this. Please, do I have the host permission?
Yes, sir. Please do.
All right, thank you. All right, is my screen visible, please?
It's not visible yet. I don't know if it's only me. It's just showing a pink screen.
Okay.
Yeah, same here.
And it's still not visible now, right?
It's still not visible.
Okay, let's go again.
Okay, I can see the screen now.
Okay, what about now? Is it visible now? Can we see greetings and introduction?
If you, I could see the Google Meet screen, but now I can't see anything.
All right. Let's just give me 1 minute to settle that.
Or if there's a problem, maybe you can send me the slide
Yeah.
WhatsApp.
Yes. Okay. Let me send the slide as well while I'm trying to settle this. If it works out in 30 seconds, we can. Okay. Is my screen visible? Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, we can see introductions and greetings and introductions.
Yes, sir, we can see it.
Very well. Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm by name Kashim David Suleiman. And as I've been introduced, I'm currently actually holding a position as the vice chairman of the caretaker committee of Student Union Government, Bayero University, Kano. And our topic today that will be, I humbly will be putting ourselves through, will be NIMSA standing committees. We have very limited time, but I'll do my best to deliver this to your understanding. All right. Okay. Are we on the next page?
Yes,
what
we
are
are.
the NIMSA standing committees? NIMSA standing committees are actually a provision under Chapter 3, Section D of the NIMSA Constitution. And when we say what Constitution means, well, let's just call it the supreme law, right? Something that acts like a blueprint for a nation's, but in our case, it's an association, NIMSA, right? Nigeria Medical Student Association. But it serves for the nation's and political and social framework limiting power, so that there will be no excessive abuse of power. I know that's if they just say constitution, if you've attended any gathering where comrades are speaking, they use this constitution to guide even the orgas. You don't have right to do this because it's not in the constitution, or the constitution says this. So this is all what is guiding us to limit the way we act and when we are in an organization. So now a standing committee in this particular section that I'm talking about shall be a standing committee shall be elected as an MAC. So an MAC, I know you know very well now from the last speaker, Comrade Muhammad, what MAC means, Medical Student Association. BUMSA is a very good medical student association in Northwest town region of the country. So a standing committee shall be elected as an MAC. I highlighted that for a reason, and shall have a director who must be present as a delegate of the registered MAC. You see how we are taking it. So even the MAC has to be registered, but alhamdulillah, our president is here and we are proud that we are registered MAC. So at this person that will be elected as the director of this standing committee, that will carry the standing committee home with him, because the standing committee is recognized as first the MAC before the person that actually the director. So if the person has to present at General Assembly, that's what I'm actually saying. And we all know from the last speaker that physically this General Assembly is being held every year towards the end of the year. So he or she is then expected to choose other members of the committee that shall include the secretary, but not limited to include the secretary and the treasurer of the standing committee. So NIMSA, basically, constitutional NIMSA has 9 standing committees. We have many other areas of NIMSA. See, you just exhaust yourself if you want to really check how much opportunities are there for you in NIMSA. Not just you staying home, trying to grab, because I see many people trying to go into SUG. It's like we are not very aware of what is outside there. I started from NIMSA before I even dared come to BUMSA, because I feel you should go out, explore, and join other people. Your colleagues are in other states, even in other countries, international. So you can think big, actually. So NIMSA constitutionally has 9 standing committees, and we have one standing committee on public health. Public health, the word itself is supposed to describe himself. Okay, we know common people, we know the money they hold. So this standing committee here, okay, they are there for that. So they are going to enlighten the population on what health is all about, okay, and they will advocate for what can improve the health of the population. And you know Nigeria needs it very well. So then the next one the Standing Committee on Reproductive Health and what? And AIDS. So we have Standing Committee on Reproductive Health and what? AIDS. That is the one we call SPORA. So we have Standing Committee on Professional Exchange. This one, as far as exchange is all about, we've seen even BUMSA witness something this wonderful last 2 years, right? Where we brought one white woman, one white lady. I don't want to call her woman, white lady to BUMSA. Let me say to AKTH. She joined 1 or 2 postings, explore the way we do our things over here in Nigeria, particularly in AKTH. And we also can send our people over there to another country. He or she to explore how the medical education happens there. So this is how you actually share knowledge between countries and all that. And NIMSA is very, very serious, and they have that standing committee who will champion such an activity. The 4th one is Standing Committee on Environment and Population Activities. When I say guess what, can anybody actually think what I'm actually saying here? No one?
Am I allowed to talk?
You are Oga already now. You are not even. All right. So I think all of this is very simple. Why am I saying guess what here is that this COEPA of a team is actually sitting as a BUMSA now in NIMSA. What do I mean? I already told you that it will be elected as an MSc. BUMSA has COEPA now. Okay, and we'll talk about that later. The 5th one is Standing Committee on Medical Education. This one's, oh my God, you are going to enjoy. Just if you get into this, you are going to see a lot of wonderful things about medicine, about surgery, internal medicine, community medicine, whatever you think medical education is all about. These are the committee that explore, share, even advocate for a better curriculum, okay, within to teach medicine adequately and appropriately in Nigeria. So we have then Standing Committee on Research Exchange. If you can see if you understand what this means, research, okay, or research as we may call it, it's all about finding or checking. Well, I'm not here to teach you research, but actually, this is where you share what you have from with the other part of the world as it may concern. They too will share what they have with you. So this is all about sharing research ideas, research progress, and more. And then my personal best, the 7th Standing Committee on Capacity Building. You are here now, right now. I don't even need to describe this committee to you. What are you doing right now is building capacity. You are going to be better off than you were just few minutes, or let me say few hours ago. Okay, this is all about becoming better. And please, I always salute this Standing Committee because I've been part of it and I know what we do. So 8 is Standing Committee on Human Rights and Peace, another very important one. SCORP, they are very, very good, and you love it as well. Human rights is not something anybody jokes with, and peace is something everyone advocates for. So I believe you all love this. Then we have Standing Committee on Policies and Implementation. Okay, what does it mean? Everything that affects us as a country, if you look at it deeply, it's all about policy. Bad policy, good policy affects us, whether we like it or not. Even the tax reform that we are seeing is no policy. Fuel subsidy removal is policy. So whether you like it or not, policy affects you one way or the other. And this is why we need to have a standing committee in NIMSA that teaches us how to actually think around policies, draft policies, advocate for policies, and then work towards the implementation of policies. And this ones, any policy you see in NIMSA, they are very much aware of it. They need to vet every policy that comes through and then see that it is okay and good for the NIMSA members, people like you and me. All right, what are the positions available in NIMSA standing committees? Number 1 point is that it is limitless. And why do I say this? Majorly, it is at the discretion of the director. He or she may decide that, well, I will have 10 people only. Because every constitutional duty, every standing committee has constitutional duty that they are supposed to do. Like the last slide I explained to you the major constitutional duty of each one. Okay. So now I'm going to tell you that the director will now think through what are the people, how many number of people, and what kind of roles do I need to achieve this constitutional provision that the constitution asks me to do for the people of NIMSA. That's where the whole idea starts from. That's why I said here that it all depends on the positional duties of the standing committees and the personal goals of the director. All right. So if you are a director that have goals already for yourself, you want to achieve something great in NIMSA, you may gather your team and achieve that. Secondly, the idea is to build a structure that works for him or her. That is the director. But also, many standing committees have a standardized or standard document that guide directors on appointments. Such documents are always made available when a director sends out call for application across the MSAs every year before there's a setup of anything. It's not like you just see list of appointments. No, directors are always going to send out calls for application. People who are interested in so and so rule should apply for them. And if you are qualified, he will pick you to come and work with him. So in that same call, there's always a link for where you can read out the rules that are available and what is expected of you. It's never hidden. So there are plenty of positions. Assistant director is open to you because you might be the director. Assistant director is automatically open for him or her to choose. So it's open for you to apply for. Secretary is open for you. Assistant secretary is open for you. Chief of staff open for you. Welfare officer of the committee open for you. Graphic designers always needed, as in anywhere in NIMSA, they are always in need of graphic designers. So you have this skill, you want to use it to volunteer, to learn more, to elaborate, you are welcome in NIMSA. Okay, people will call on you, will appoint you to come and do graphic design for them, and you can hone your skills from there. PROs, highly needed, highly demanded in NIMSA. Program coordinators, they are very, very important. Okay, so most standing committees directors as well also try to have regional directors in each geopolitical zone. And these regional directors will now help to facilitate activities within that geopolitical zones. Licensing officers, they are my best, okay? And people call them local officers, but don't use that word local, please. It's that they should be called licensing officers because constitutionally, standing committee directors must appoint local officers or licensing officers. Sorry for that. Every standing committee is constitutionally expected to have licensing officers in each MSA. So they will be like an ambassador for that standing committee in that MSA. So capable licensing officers are tantamount, okay, to the overall success of most standing committees, if not all. So please, our future local officers, I beg you, as you have been appointed to be local officer, be very, very active. And Mr. President, you are here. I put it here so that if you are here, you can see it. I'm going to suggest to you, and I'm saying it publicly now, put an award for the best local officer for the best BUMSA local officer of the year at the end of your tenure. I'm begging you. Let there be competition because I see many MSAs are doing it. Let's be doing it. And it will improve them. It will make them actually work harder for their technical and improve the benefit of BUMSA in NIMSA. So from there, we are going to talk about okay. Is my slide is not moving, right? Okay. So
you are currently in it is moving.
Yes, rotations. Am I here? The rotation.
Yes.
Yes, just like you have been enlightened, National Secretariat bid is always moving, right? From one place to another. We have seen geopolitical zones. So lastly, it was in Northwest before. Just moved from Northwest, which is Abumsa, Ahmadu Bello University Medical Student Association, to now it's now in Southwest, which is AMSUL, which is Association of Medical Students of Lagos. So University of Lagos. So they are now the one holding the NIMSA Secretariat now. So it moves every year. Each standing committee directorate exclusively rotates, okay, around the geopolitical zones. Okay, though it may be like it's not like they are sharing it with another distinct, but he has the right to also move from one place. It's always moving as well, just like the national. But there's a way they merge them. They merge them together, and we'll talk about that very soon. This will ensure that there's fairness. Okay, not that Skosibi will stay in Northwest for 3 years. No, if Skosibi is here in Northwest today, next time is going to move to another geopolitical zone. For instance, at the large General Assembly, SQUAREPA, which is Standing Committee on Environment and Population, was explicitly for the Northwest. Nobody can share it with the Northwest on that particular general space. It is for Northwest. So all the medical student association, medical student associations in Northwest can contest for it. Okay, BUMSA Quent can contest for it. BUMSA, which is Ahmadu Bello, can contest for it. Every medical student that you know, a medical student association that you know that must be that is in Northwest can then contest for SCOEPA because it is for Northwest for this particular year. And BUMSA, one of the MSAs in Northwest, as you can see, has it now. So who can guess who the SCOEPA director is? It's our guy, our man. So you should be able to actually know this. If you don't know who the SCOEPA director is, that's issue. Can anyone? So without wasting much time, is our Ahmad Abubakar. He may not be here, but he's a very good gentleman, hardworking person. You are going to actually meet him one of these days. So you can study this position or this rotation, target and plan for one of the standing committee directorates. In your own time, you can sit down and study the way it's rotating. I think Comrade Muhammad Karai has properly addressed us on this, okay? How you can study them and target for one that you know will fall into your geopolitical zone, then you can contest using your MSA. However, there are essential and political criteria you must understand and meet along the way. You understand this. I don't need to tell you everything here, but you understand along the way. He mentioned some, how many GA you attend, how many this, all those ones, they are important. So you've got to start somewhere, then you can learn which standing committees fall on your general geopolitical zone at the next administration. Let's take a look at SCOSIBI, for instance, so that I want to just make a practical example for you. In 2021, UBEMSA, University of Benin Medical Student Association, were the one with it. They were in the South-South. You can see in 2022, it moved to Northwest, BUMSA. Ahmadu Bello University Medical Student Association held it for 2022. 2023, it moved to LASUMSA, Lagos State University Medical Student Association. They held it. So that was Southwest. 2024, it moved to what? UMSA, that is University of Maiduguri Medical Student Association. That was Northeast. 2025, it moved to what? ABSUMSA. Okay, that is Abia State University Medical Student Association. That is Southwest. Now, it is not. It is now what in UAMSA, which is University of Abuja Medical Student Association. You can see from South-South is now is Northwest. Now you can guess where it's going to after this North Central. Okay, sorry, it's now in North Central, which is Abuja, right? So you can guess where it will go to next. That's how it goes. It's practically that simple. Currently, Northwest houses SCOEPA and SCORA. And SCORA is in FUDUMSA. You already know where SCOEPA is. So we don't need to talk about that one. So now let's talk about the Papul family. The popularly known SCOSIBI. So directorate currently is at UAMSA, that is North Central, University of Abuja. Constitutional duties, sorry for that, constitutional duties is provided by Chapter 4, Section G, subsection 17 of the Constitution of NIMSA. That is where you can read what SCOSIBI is actually constitutionally asked to do in the first place. And then what is this particular section saying? SCOSIBI shall organize training for medical students at every NIMSA activity. I think the first time I met Olabi, I was actually hosting one of these NIMSA activities at GA, and that was how we met. Now we are very good friends, very, very good ones. So the director must be an IFMAC certified trainer. What is IFMAC? International Federation of Medical Student Association. You have a long way to go, starting from BUMSA to NIMSA to FAMSA to IFMAC. That's a great journey, but you can just keep your way along the way. And who knows, they also have their trainings many times over the year. Okay, so you can just apply for one, and then you get certified as an IFMAC trainer, and then you become a trainer for SCOSIBI, and then you are qualified to go for director. And then the director shall also ensure partnership with organizations that can train medical students, shall facilitate projects that can generate funds for NIMSA. NIMSA like funds. Have you ever seen the call for application of NIMSA itself, the secretariat? They always put it at the end, must generate fund for NIMSA. They love funds. So SCOSIBI is my personal best for me, because it basically builds you personally and professionally. Now, this is where I get serious. They are very, very important standing committee. when you talk about leadership, entrepreneurship, finance, name them, anything that has to do with capacity building, they are there. Now, they are now even better organized as what we call NCBA, NIMSA Capacity Building Academy. Okay. And this was initiated by one of the director along the way, which is Dr. Saratin Daniel, 2020 SCOCB director from UBEMSA, as I've earlier introduced. So you can actually initiate something, and then that thing will stand the test of time. Now we now call it NCBA, because they pack a lot of values in one particular volume and share at once. Okay, and you really enjoy, because they design a curriculum. If you want to learn about NCBA, it's a different story on its own. But let's continue. You get to be part of a team that empowers medical students with skills for personal and professional development, helping medical students build true capacity. As Comrade Muhammad talks, everybody wants to be called capacity, comrade. That when we talk about true, that's why I put it through. I put it clearly there. True capacity is different from the one you are just naming people as. So you see, when you see people's CV, you know what true capacity means, the kind of value they've been through or they've acquired over the years. So if you love helping people become better version of themselves, it's actually a good place to start. Please, if link for this application is still open, I highly recommend you apply for a role with them. For instance, our local officer, I'm begging you. Okay. So Scora, the Red family. As I'm calling them the Red family, I'm not joking. If you see they are this and that's what they have color codes. Scora is red. So I'm actually going to give something out here. If you know the full meaning, any female, I'm serious, any female preclinical student that can get the full meaning of Scora, the real IFMA says meaning of Scora, is going to get 500 naira airtime. I give let's say 10 seconds for that. Please, anyone that can just, a preclinical student, a female, raise your hand first, then Olabi will call you. Just 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. This is this is serious. Olabi, are you saying no one is raising their hand? Abdullah, should we increase it?
Sir, sorry, sir, my network went off. I didn't get you.
Okay, we are actually giving out something at this point. I said, check who is a female and a preclinical student that can get me the full meaning of Scora. IFMA say meaning of Scora, and the person will get 500 naira airtime. Now, 10 seconds. I'm counting. Nobody is.
You can unmute yourself and speak. I'm not seeing any female boom.
Nobody is raising their hand. Wow, that's nice.
No, it's only guys that are raising their hands.
Guys are not allowed in this zone. Scora is for women. For me, I personally want women to answer this question. But in the absence of that, I know guys are always going to do so. I find their way to answer this question. But well, if you don't have any female to answer it, I'm sorry. I don't want to give it to guys, actually. I personally want to, because there's a reason for that. So maybe we'll proceed. Right? This directorate is currently in FUDUMSA now. FUDUMSA is also in Northwest Medical Student Association, Federal University of Duse, Medical Student Association, our neighbor here. So they are the one with Scora now. And constitutional duties of Scora are in Chapter 4, Section D, Subsection 10. What are they asked to do? They shall conduct surveys on specific topics of reproductive health and AIDS interest. Before we proceed, since no one is still interested, no female yet. Any female now?
No.
Okay, let me finish. I will tell you if there's no female, then because I'm really serious about giving this up. Okay, female, a preclinical student, ready to answer the question?
Yes, sir.
Good, let's go.
Yes, SCORA stands for Standing Committee on Sexual and Reproductive Health and Rights, including HIV and AIDS.
Aha. Where have you been all this while?
I've been raising my hands now.
All right, that's brilliant. That's actually correct, because I know many of you will use what I said in the past. I introduced SCORA initially as reproductive health and AIDS, but actually they have more than that. Okay, the full meaning is what she has just given. Okay, Standing Committee on Sexual and Reproductive Health Rights, including HIV/AIDS. That is their full meaning. So let's continue. And please, all take note of her. We are going to give her what we promise. So continue. Let's continue. Shall keep contact with local medical students' publications. Okay, this is also part of their job. Shall be charged with responsibility of organizing reproductive health and AIDS campaigns. Where are our capacity ladies? Here, anything reproduction, you always think, okay, ladies should be very, very serious about this, okay? Because we have ladies are always passionate about this Standing Committee in particular. The likes of Rakia Mohammed, she's in Abumsa, she's a champion in this. For me, I see it as a place for champions, especially females, okay? You get to advocate through virtual and physical campaigns for one of the most disturbing societal issues, which is reproductive health. And AIDS is directly attached to this. So you get to be a champion. You have a cause, okay, to pursue. And as I'm telling you, we have champions already in this zone, and we are looking for Bumsa ladies to step up as well. It concerns you, and you really want to be there. So SCORA is highly connected as they are. Obviously, they campaign in the interest of the vulnerable, the women, those that have AIDS. So these are issues that is supposed to be disturbing to anyone, right? Especially the females. So, and then for that reason, NGOs love them. If you see SCORA and NGO, they are like this, 1, 5, and 6. WHO love them. WHRRO, go and check what it means. I will not tell you the full meaning. SYS, all of them, they love SCORA because they are pursuing a cause that directly affects women, women, okay? So you get to be part of a team that makes meaningful impacts. I highly also recommend you apply for this role, especially our ladies. I want to see like 10 ladies already ready now to go and apply. So let's move to square. Yes.
We are enjoying your session, but you know, we have tight schedules.
Okay. I'll be very fast now. Sorry about the way I expatiate on this. Okay, now what about Directorate of SCOEPA is currently in Bumsa? We know that. Constitutional duties are in section 4, subsection G. Section G, subsection 14. And what are they supposed to do? They are supposed to enlighten the populace on ways and means of population control and preservation of the environment, right? They shall coordinate the activities of the health committees in each member association. Bumsa is one. If it has health committee for now, SCOEPA is going to coordinate the activities of that health committee. That's what I mean by that. Shall direct the local MSCs on what health and environmental surveys to carry out each year and make release to the General Assembly and the government. This is their job. Shall organize symposia, public lectures and workshops on environmental and population activities at least once, at the end of which a committee shall be presented to the appropriate quarters. So they have a lot of job actually. If you look at it, this is where the climate change advocates are going to explore. If you love climate change issues that are affecting us, go here. So quite a lot of things to do in this SCOEPA. They are very busy committee actually. And you can clearly see this could be the most important NIMSA committee in Nigeria as we are talking about population, okay, and environmental issues. So I feel it's currently the easiest for you to get into as well. Why? Well, you can call it home advantage because we have it, right? So apply, and then I'm sure our director will call you to work with him. So SCOME, the Black family, their directorate actually in Fusimsa, Southwest. Constitutional duties are also there. The director shall keep himself informed about publication concerned with medical education and also about the curricula in all universities of member association. Bumsa, that is BUK. Abumsa, that is Ahmadu Bello University. So director is supposed to be very aware of what is going on, what kind of curricula they're running for medical students, and then he will try to see if it's balanced with what is supposed to be or not. He shall distribute information to all member associations by sending out circulars containing details of future conferences dealing with medical education, summaries of reports received by him and list of new literature on medical students education. This is where stuffs are. So he shall also coordinate the surveys on specific topics concerning medical students education. One of the underrated standing committees, for me, I see that they are very important, but they are underrated. I'm going to be frank, because if you see what SCOME does, you will really love them. But they are actually imposing, okay, very, very important. If you love to know how medical education is structured in Nigeria and abroad, they have you, as in they got you. That's what. So you are going to enjoy them. They focus on improving medical education, advocating for standard curriculum and quality learning of our noble profession. You can be the likes of our Abdullahi Owolabi, the organizer of this program. He was there last time for BUMSA, and he did something very important, very impressive for us. He made us even the best. You can just go back and check. So SCOME were there when I was roaming about. There were times when I was just starting out in NIMSA. It was SCOME that I started getting value from, checking what can NIMSA actually offer. Then I fell into SCOME, and let me show you what that gave. So this is it, certificate of participation. This is my first program that I attended with NIMSA, SCOME Capacity Building 2022. It was titled Medicated Pandas. We even had people from abroad that educated us on the way UK are running their medical education, the way their curricula is compared to Nigeria. And so we saw a lot of differences at that time. So proceeding to SCOPE, the Brown family, their director is currently in FUSAMSA, Northeast. You can see their constitutional duties. They are going to be the one policy implementation. They have all the bylaws for every standing committee. They are the one coordinating what other committee, the kind of policy they are supposed to be guiding them. It is SCOPE that is doing it. So shall ensure all policies are duly implemented. Where are our policy lovers? This is where the question comes. If you love policy, you see government, you are a politician. Yes, you love to change people. You want to impact lives by making good policies. Not to remove subsidy, but to make good policies or other policies that will improve the lives of maybe NIMSA or BUMSA. This is a home for you. So they forge policies surrounding public health issues and more. They run an annual program we call SCOPE Academy. It's an intensive training on policy making and advocacy. Please, if you can't work with SCOPE, endeavor to learn from them. Something like this. I was with their program in 1 year like that, where I graduated from this intensive training. Let me show you something there. This is it. Has successfully completed the 3 months policy and advocacy, 3 months training in 2023 and for SLI, whatever. So what I'm just trying to tell you here is that program, if you can go through it, you are going to enjoy it. You learn how to be a leader wherever you are, how to make good policies how to even start and think about policies, I mean. So this is a good place for you. So sorry, I can't take everything, but you can see they are kind of nice. So we can't take everything, but I think what you just need now is an idea, okay? You don't need to know everything about everything. Just have an idea that they exist and you can explore any of them, depending on which one you love most. So proceeding to getting started, firstly, find virtue in becoming more than a medical student. I always beg this. Find joy in becoming more than a medical student. This degree is 6 plus X years. I personally spent 7+ years in medical school already, and still have 1 year plus. So this still you cannot exhaust the medical knowledge available. So try to build value along the way. Now you have to be vigilant. There will always be call for applications. Check BUMSA forums. We have our official WhatsApp platforms. Check them. Hold our PROs responsible, accountable. Hold them. Let them be sharing it. Ask them. Go through NIMSA social media handles or pages. Follow NIMSA across all. You will see call for application at this hot time. Okay? When you see one that you like, not the one that you don't like, because you are going to have issues. The one that you like, hit that link. Take your time to read the requirements that are needed. Get the requirements and apply. Seek guidance. Ask for mentorship from any of your seniors or anyone more experienced. We are all here now, okay? So you can ask the former presidential aspirant. Ask anybody to guide you. They will guide you. My DM is always open. My phone lines as well. So long you are a serious fellow, I don't think so. So long you are a serious fellow, like my friend Abdullahi Owolabi, then you are always welcome, okay? You can volunteer to join and contribute to the activities of any of those standing committees or technical offices or other NIMSA organs, whatever. There are plenty. Whatever you are passionate about, or you can still please just sit back, absorb the values they bring, attend their webinars, workshops, and programs they organize. You'll be just fine. You are just absorbing, but that doesn't mean you are not getting benefit from NIMSA. So above all else, represent us well. Again, represent us well.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
So please, just 1 minute, let me round up. Please, just 1 minute. So
okay,
carry
30
your
seconds. 30 seconds.
road. Okay. So carry your road personally, deliver your tasks, and then build relationship that it will help you build relationship that lasts, reputation that promises greater, a connection that expands. Please, any position you get to deliver it very well, make BUMSA proud. So these are just some of the things that I'm just trying to say that can really stand you out. You don't know who is watching. This is a place where standing. My Oga then was telling me on my DM that, to my utmost surprise, you maintain same speed from the beginning to the end. This is one of the things I want everybody. Be professional. You were professional in everything you did. Please and please take this. I'm just trying to motivate. It's not like I'm showing you that I'm just trying to motivate you.
Thank you, sir.
So, I think this will be just the end. Finally, this is me, Kashim Adavid Suleiman, Vice Chairman of CTC SUG Committee, 600 level MBS. Thank you so much for having me, and have a very good evening. Sorry, it's already night, right? Thank you, Abdullah Olabi. You can skim me out now.
Thank you so much, sir. Our next speaker is Ambassador Hamza Tisheu, a dynamic young leader born in the ancient city of Kano. He's currently a medical student at BUK with the leadership experience as a nominee for Northern Caucus Treasurer, National Director, SCOP, NIMSA 2022, VPI, NIMSA 2023, Pioneer National Technical Officer on Medical Students' Rights, Technical Officer on Medical Ethics, LO2, Indigenous Medical Students Association and other associations, Chairman, Health Committee, SRA, SUG, BUK, with other several accomplishments and certificates. And he'll be taking us on the technical offices, special offices, and liaison offices. Please welcome to the stage Ambassador Hamza Tisheu. You're welcome, sir. So sorry for cutting into your time so deeply. Are you there, sir? I also like to recognize the presence of the Deputy Director of NIMSA's COPI.
Yes, I'm there.
Okay. Welcome to the stage, sir.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Please, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. So the chief host of today's program, Muhammad Adamu, the president of Bahrain University Medical Student Association, BUMSA, BUMSA proper, and also the host of today's program, in person of Abdullah Oholadi, my other colleague speakers, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. A very good evening to you all. And I was already introduced. My name is Ambassador Hamza Tisheu. Currently, I'm the Chairman Public Health Awareness Committee of Kano State Medical Student Association National Body. Okay, yeah, I must be talking about the technical offices and also the liaison offices and some other special offices in NIMSA. I think the organizers gave me this because all my life in NIMSA, the 5 years that I spent from 2020 to 2024, I all just hold appointed offices. That is why. Okay, but for the importance, but I would just be discussing. I would choose the important topics to discuss first. Then later on, I will go through the remaining offices. But I will try to be discussing the offices that they are always there in NIMSA since from our time, and up to now they are still there because they are there because of how important they are. These offices, they are like our Shaluno Foundation. So our Shaluno Foundation Our Shamina Foundation has been there, and it's named after one NIMSA president in person of our Shanunu, and who lost himself in active service of Nigerian Medical Student Association. So our Shamina Foundation is used to be an appointed office. It's not like Director Standing Committee or Human Rights that you just go there during the General Assembly and say you're going to contest for the office. As far as that office is in your region that time, it's not about that. It's the president, it's like the liberty of the president to appoint you to be the director of our Shamina Foundation. And this our Shamina Foundation is all about maternal and child health. It's all about maternal and child health. All the activities they've been doing in the office is all about menstrual hygiene, child nutrition. It's all about maternal and child health in short. And like, am I expected to talk about the administrative structure of the office, or just to say about like how the importance and the area of activities? The chief host.
So I think because of time, we can just leave the administrative offices. Anyone that's interested can contact you later, sir.
Okay, to no problem. So that all about our Shamino condition. Then there is another office that is very important and it used to be there for years in NIMSA. So let me just go there and talk about it. Technical Officer on Infectious and Communicable Diseases. This office has been there already, even though we have standing committee on public health and public health. SCOP is standing committee on public health, but still we have this technical office on infectious and communicable. This office is all about the communicable diseases, the infectious diseases like that. It's all what is talking about. So if you know you're just interested in kind of these aspects, you just go and try to acquaint yourself to that office. Then apart from that, then there is this office, um, Director of Budget and Planning and Strategy. This office has been there for a quite long time. And like what I know from the beginning when we are in NIMSA that time, they usually used to give it in the secretariat. I'm very sure you know what the secretariat means. It's the university or the MSc, the president of NIMSA there. So, and that office is responsible to draft the budget and everything for the um, entire administration here, which is going to be 1 year duration. So, and also, like, you know, NIMSA, there's no any, I don't know for now, what for the time that I left NIMSA 2024, I'm very sure there's no any standard source of income in NIMSA. So they usually used to get from other solicitation or other things that they used to do. So that is why it's better, it's good things to make sure you have tentative budgets so that you can try to source the money that you're going to run your team up. So these are the most some important offices that have always been there. But now I'll try to take the remaining. I'm just like using the call of application for 2026 National Officers Council as guidance because you know the appointed offices in NIMSA is at the liberty of president because president has a lot of power in NIMSA. It's at the liberty of president to appoint you to each office you want you to go. Unlike if subsequently I'm the NIMSA president, I will just decide that may not create some offices, I will create another offices because there is no any constitutional power or backing that says the president shouldn't create any other offices. So that is why you have to make sure you have a guide in order to talk about these technical offices, liaison offices, because I'm very sure some president will just decide not to even do the technical office on infectious and communicable diseases. But some presidents here he will do. He will even create another office, say technical office on maternal health and child advocacy, or create another one which is technical office on medical student side. So at their liberty to be creating the technical and liaison office and all other offices, as far as that offices would be provide an avenue for them to deliver their responsibility at their president. But even though we have to talk about it because I heard that there is a lot of appointed local officers and other offices in NIMSA But sometimes majority of the offices that are created like this appointment office is as a compensation, because during the presidential election he has made a lot of promises before he become a NIMSA president. So when he become a NIMSA president from MSA, they say they just want someone from that MSA to be the National Executive Council member. And I'm very sure after a series of this lecture, you know what the National Executive Council member means. I mean National Executive Council member of NIMSA, not all other standing committee. So that's why the offices they are always proliferating like this. So in the case of that, I'll be talking about the next is Director of Communication. Director of Communication is just responsible for all the communication activities in the NIMSA, like trying to convey the meeting, which is usually NIMSA. We used to have a lot of virtual meetings to create like a Google Meet or even a Zoom, or sometimes YouTube channel, so that they can be having the meeting there and be correspondent, so that all the members across the Nigeria can join. And if there is anything that is going, then they will try to create a flyer or even do some kind of content creation or something like that for the communication. Then there is Director of Scholarship. So this Director of Scholarship is an appointed office. The president at the liberty of the president to appoint you to be the Director of Scholarship. Then if you become the Director of Scholarship, what's your main interest and what is your work as a Director of Scholarship? Is to try to get the scholarship opportunities that they are available to medical students, because we know a lot of time there is a scholarship, but like the medical students, they are always after their book. They don't used to go through, and they have been losing a scholarship opportunity. So that the essence of the creating the office, so that it can try to give opportunity to medical students to know when and even how to apply for the offices. Then there is Director of Sustainable Development Goals, which is SDG. So this office, I can actually remember it was created by the Skills, President Skills, which is the President 2023. Yeah, I can remember he's the one that created the office. So it's all about, the office is all about SDGs. SDGs. We are aware about the SDGs, so Sustainable Development Goals. So all the activities of the office is for SDGs, and the president that is responsible to appoint the director of the office. Then we have the next office, which is Director Emerging and Growing Medical Student Association. Right. All right. I'm just seeing this office, Emerging and Growing Medical Student Association. So I'm very sure this office is all about like trying to catch the younger MSc. I'm very sorry. I will use that time to call them baby MSc. What I mean by baby MSc is we have some new MSc. They are just starting the medicine. They have to have one level 1, level 2, or level 3. So as far as you haven't graduated, I said they used to call you baby, but now it just changed. It just depends on how influential you are in NIMSA, and like how many times you spend and been active in NIMSA. So those small MSc that they are just starting the medicine, or get an accreditation from to Medical and Dental Council to start running for the medicine and surgery course. So that's the baby MSc or small MSc. So this office is all about to try to guide the MSc on even how to be attending the NIMSA programs, how to be applying for the position of NIMSA, and also how to become a member of NIMSA. Because there is a lot of guidelines that you have to follow. You have to attend the post GA as an observer, then subsequently, then you're just going to be having the vote right. You can choose the president, you can vote for the other directors, and also the two vice president that we have, vice president international. So that this office is responsible to be guiding the growing MSA, which is Emerging and Growing Medical Student Association. Then we have a Director National Health and Innovation and Technology. This office, what it's all about is about the health innovation, like trying to create some kind of platform or an application that will be rendering the health activities, which is going to be just like a virtual through a link or even some kind of applications like that. I can actually, in 2022, when I was NEC member, there is one director of this National Health and Innovation. They want to create the application, but I don't know where they stop now. This is kind of the activities they want to be doing in that office. Then also the next we have Director Mentorship Initiative. So this office is all about the mentorship. The main essence of the office, all the activities you are going to do, it's just going to be creating based on the mentorship. To mentor a medical student based on how to what is CV, to mentor a medical student on how to be very vibrant in other student politics, and to mentor the student on how to be something to be a good health advocate, or maternal health advocate, child health advocate, just like that. Then we have other office which is Director of Budget Planning and Strategy. I already talked about it. Then the next is and Director Emerging Leaders Forum. It's quite all right. I'm very happy to see this office after now is still existing, because I can remember in 2022 we are the ones that funding fathers of the Emerging Leaders Forum. I'm among the funding fathers in all Nigeria. The first director for Emerging Leaders Forum was Dr. Ibrahim Muhammad Bello from Gombe State University Medical Student Association, and the deputy was Torobo Ebenezer Award from University of Oyo there in Akwa Ibom. And also that time part of the Assistant Secretary General, and also the Pioneer Northwest Regional Coordinator in the office. This office is all about to try to groom the preclinical students and the aspect of leadership, and after the leadership, and also the structure of the NIMSA. This office was created purposely for the preclinical students, because we find that at that time, before you find someone like trying to become a National Executive Council member, which is NEC, or even participating actively in NIMSA, you're supposed to be around like 500 level, 600 level. The later on, when they are holding these directors, and the president, the vice president, you find them like they don't even know what NIMSA is all about, and they like used to lack like even the energy, even like the political experience of NIMSA. That is why that time the president of Nigerian Medical Student Association, in person of Dr. Umar Muhammad Mbuba, which is currently the chairman, Young Doctors and and Future Doctors, the chairman for NMA, Young Doctors Forum. So that time he created the office, and like he gave the mandate to Dr. Ibrahim Muhammad Bello, very my order. So that time we were able to make sure like we penetrated all the MSA, because I can remember the person from Bumsa. So we're penetrating to the other MSA, trying to tell them what NIMSA is all about. And our main target is not even about the clinical student, it's all about the preclinical student. At that time, I'm in level 1. I remember just starting level 1 after we come back from the strike. I was just calling back from the strike, praise level 1. Then that time I got an appointment and to serve in that office. So our main aim is to tell the preclinicals this is NIMSA, and what all NIMSA is all about. This is what you can get in NIMSA, and also this is how you want to go to become a NEC member, to become a director, to become a president of NIMSA, even a president of NIMSA. We have went to several universities across Nigeria to try to equip them with the information and the skills they want to know, and they need to have for them to work successfully in NIMSA. And also, apart from that, equipping them with the maximum skill they want in order to create the good leaders of tomorrow in NIMSA. We are doing some activities, especially that concern the preclinical, because I can remember there when I was in Emerging Leaders Forum, we are the one that organized the first preclinical quiz across Nigeria. So we used to organize that quiz across the preclinical students in Nigeria, so that it will create an academic environment for them. And please inform you at that time, I'm the first person that drafted the proposal for the first preclinical quiz in Nigeria that took place in the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital in LASU, which is in Ikeja there, and I was also there. And like the winners, we gave them very good gifts. So that's all what NIMSA is all about. Imagine director, imagine that's what all Emerging Leaders Forum is all about. And if you have interest to run in NIMSA, to become a leader and also to be a politically buoyant and sound, I encourage for you to go through the NIMSA Emerging Leaders Forum. But I hope the Emerging Leaders Forum that we did is still there. Then the next is liaison officer to Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. This liaison officer, all the liaison officers, they are just like representing the president in such kind of aspects. Like here, liaison officer to Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. All the peers of NDCN, you're supposed to serve as the liaison officer. You're supposed to serve as president liaison to all ND kind of activities. What I mean by that is because to be a president, you have to be is going to be not an easy task because always you're going to be very busy and you're dealing with NIMSA, it's 36 states of Nigeria. So that is why you have to divide some jobs and assign some people to be working for you. If there is anything that you have to link with NDCN, which is like regarding sponsorship, funding, some lectures, some webinars you want them to come and do to you, then that liaison officer has to take the responsibility of doing all that. Then we have liaison officer to medical students in diaspora. So this medical student in diaspora, the liaison officer is expected to be from Nigeria, and his main aim is to be able to coordinate the activities or to coordinate the other medical students that they are indigenous of Nigeria, but they are not studying in Nigeria, they are studying in abroad, like in Switzerland, in the United States, and also in UK, in Sudan, Egypt, and all other states. So you are supposed to be coordinating the activities because they are Nigerians. They just went there to have their degree or to practice there or to come back to Nigeria. Then the other office is National Liaison Officer to National Association of Resident Doctors. We have NADS, National Association of Resident Doctors. So, and this association, they are the Mothers Association of NIMSA, because we graduate, we become a doctors, we find ourselves as some people, medical officers, some people, they will run for residency training. And even during this, resident doctors, they have their own association that will be governing them administratively and other things. So this association, we're able like the kind of liaison mentorship that we want to have from our resident doctors. And after the mentorships, and sometimes they even support us with a lot of activities we are doing in the NIMSA. So that liaison officer is supposed to take in charge of all other things there. Then next we have the liaison officer to World Health Organization, which is WHO. It's a very good office, and also the main aim of that office is to make sure like all the opportunities in WHO to represent the NIMSA and WHO first, and after they present the NIMSA and WHO first, if there is any WHO opportunities to share it to Nigerian medical students. Like sometimes they are doing training, because I was part of the victims, because that time 2022 I even went for one training of WHO, and I can remember I got a slot from my friend, which is serving as liaison officer that time. We were sent to have the training. We are three from Nigeria. So there's another opportunity for that. So they are responsible to do that. Then the next office is liaison officer to United Nations. So United Nations. So also there's another opportunity that is out there, and medical students, they need to go there and try to enjoy the opportunities. So this office should be responsible to share all the activities and all what there in the United Nations to medical students. Then the next office, let me just be past because time has already went. Then there's liaison officer to United Nations Child Fund, which is UNICEF. This office is all about how UNICEF they used to do some kind of health advocacy, and also they used to organize like some kind of awareness about the issue of the children. So it's better NIMSA to have the office, so that if they have the office, then they will be able to, the liaison officer will be able to put maximum of his energy to make sure all that thing, if they need, because a lot of these organizations, they need medical students in order to assist them, because we are the ones that we know the fields, and also we are in the field, so they need you to be there So this office is responsible for all the important events of the UNICEF to be taking place in NIMSA. Then we have the liaison officer at the Federation of African Medical Student Association, which is PAMS. I remember. I also part of this committee before. So this liaison officer is responsible to be coordinating the activities of PAMSA in NIMSA. What I mean by coordinating the activities of PAMSA and NIMSA is, in PAMSA is Federation of African Medical Student Association, comprising all the countries from the Africa. So NIMSA also, we are part of PAMSA. I can say subset, we are just like a subset of PAMSA. So if there's any opportunity in PAMSA, what's going on, training, is it training? Is this like some kind of slot the offices? Is it like if someone from Nigeria want to contest for the PAMSA president? Actually, I have to know. Is Federal University just now they are having the PAMSA program, which is a fantastic thing. So this office is responsible to be the coordinating activities and to be updating the NIMSA president about what's going on in PAMSA, to make sure like NIMSA has renewed its registration and it has to be fully active member of PAMSA. Then the next is liaison officer to new partners. Yes.
Doctor, thank you so much, sir. But please, can you? The next speaker is waiting, so I don't know if you can just list the remaining liaison offices. Thank you, sir.
Oh, okay. I understand. So let me just. I think you all have the documents. You can go through them, and also like his name is just there implying they are all like concerned with the name given to that office. Like here, which is liaison officer to new partners. Their name is try to get the new partners to the NIMSA so that now NIMSA can have a partnership with the new offices. Then the next is liaison officer to Association of Physicians in Diaspora. So it's all about trying to create some kind of avenue or connections with all other physicians that they are in, practicing abroad. Then we have liaison officer to student bodies. Student bodies, we all know student bodies like other associations. We have FCG, we have Lausanne, those three associations in Nigeria. We have the Polyoptometry Medical Lab, a lot of them like that. Then after that, let me just jump to the technical offices. Technical officer on maternal health and child nutrition. It's all about this. As the name is implied, this office they are expected to serve focusly on this maternal health and child nutrition. Then the other office is technical officer on gender-based violence. It's all about female genital mutilation, these activities. This office is supposed to work for that. Then we have technical office on HIV, AIDS, and sexual transmitted disease. Wow. So this office is all about HIV and sexual transmitted disease like this gonorrhea and all that. Then we have office on technical officer on mental health advocacy. This is a very strong office. It's all about mental health in this office. They are advocating for mental health. I can remember that even the president of NIMSA 2024, he was once a technical officer on mental health. And like a very, very good office, a very active office throughout the year. As far as you have passion for the mental health, you're going to be worked throughout the year with that. Then we have technical office on water, sanitary and hygiene. This office is all about to get the good water so that you can. It's all about the hygiene, this distributing parts between again the menstrual cycle, blah blah like that. It's all about hygienic environment and also like distribution of non-contaminated water. So that in short, I just rushed because of the time just to talk about the liaison offices and the technical offices. Am I expected to talk about the other like offices like Assistant Secretary General, Public Health Officer, those?
No, sir. I think they can read about it, or I think one of the speakers has already covered something related to that.
Oh, okay, so no problem.
Yes.
Now I think if I want to understand is people that have interest in NIMSA and also like they already have some offices in NIMSA currently and all they have a passion to join for NIMSA currently. So I would just want to summarize something. I already talked about it, but it's just like some kind of political aspect of all this office. The thing that I just talk about is all about the appointment. It's all about appointment. This office, you're not expected to go and say like, I'm contesting during the General Assembly coming up 2026. During the General Assembly, I'm going to contest for liaison officer to like United Nations. No, it's when when the new president wants, you just appoint his cabinet, just like that. And you'll be still like they will send an call for application, and if there's any office you want, you write an application, send. So, but the reality, because we are all both sides there, we have to tell you the reality because we know what's going on there. The reality is, it depends on how close you are with the president and how which way someone or your boss or you alone that you support the president. At the end of the day, you just appoint him. No matter what the kind of essay you write, the kind of experience you write, as far as you don't have in touch with the president, you can never get these offices. It's all about the appointment, and it's at the liberty of the president to appoint you. That is the liberty of the president to terminate your appointment. So that is why it's all about you with the president. So I usually just an advice because I 2021 I got an appointed office, and also as part of the National Executive Council members of NIMSA 2022 the same thing, which is the pioneer. I pioneered the National Technical Office on Medical Student Rights. Just to give you example, there's not any technical office of medical students in NIMSA, but during that year, because we are part of the campaign of the Webster Honorary 04, and also my boss also is the chief of staff to the president at that time, where I was able to create the office, and when they create the office, they give it to me, they appointed to me. So like it's not all about this sending applications, it's all about how intimate you are with the secretariat, like especially with the president or someone that will send you as a recommendation. Then just to give you an example, before I got the office, which is National Technical Officer on medical side, I contested for the treasurer and the Northern Caucus. Then later on, we reached consensus in the promise and make appointment, which is the office that I got. So usually, just to give you a scenario, no one wants to have an appointed office, liaison officer or technical officer, until this prominent one, which is Director Awal Shanono, and after Director Awal Shanono, then like technical office on mental health advocacy. Those so strong offices are the only offices someone will just try to build an ambition to go for. But apart from that, all the remaining is compensation they used to, as if you participate actively during the campaign process for the president. And sometimes MSA, they will just say, me, I will support so president, but in the end, I just want him to give me such kind of office, just to give me like technical officer on medical student rights, or just to give me technical officer on gender-based violence. So this office, they just used to go like that. And I'm very sure if you're going for this office, first thing, you just need to try to be well engaged in these activities, after well engaged in these activities, and also try to build a very cordial relationship with your BUMSA president. Which here we said BUMSA president, but in short, it's just MSA president. Wherever you went, they have their own MSA president, because sometimes they are the ones having the right to go and vote for the president, and they return, the MSA will like tell the president, this is what we want here. So sometimes it's just based on these appointments and other compensation. So this is in summary, just to talk about these offices. So I think if there's anyone who wants to know more about the office, my number and everything is available, or at the end of the webinar. But I don't know how the host.
We'll share the number of anyone that is interested can contact me. Then I'll now share the number of the speaker.
Okay. So we're always available, and we try to do as much as we can to guide the younger ones. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm very grateful.
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker is Dr. Newly minted Dr. Abdurrahman Adamu, an industrious and resilient student leader of Bayero University, Kano. He has served under Bukaiko SUG as the presiding officer, Deputy Chairman, LOC for NIMSA GA, Local Officer for Medical Education, Local Officer for Capacity Building in 2020 and 2019, respectively. He has served in FAMSA, in Bauchi Medical Students Association, and in Katagum Medical Students Association, and has attended several events. He also contested for the office of the NIMSA National Secretary as part of his secretariat ticket alongside Muhammad Karai, reflecting his vision for strategic administrative reform at the national level. Please welcome Dr. Abdurrahman Adamu. Sorry so much, sir, for postponing, taking so much time. And he'll be covering the events of NIMSA.
Thank you very much for the honor. I will try my best to see that I don't take up much time. Within 10 to 15 minutes, by God's grace, I will finish it up. I would like to stand on the existing protocol. I've been tasked with presenting on the activities of the Nigerian Medical Students Association as part of this program. So the activities of the Nigerian Medical Students Association comprise national, regional, local, and international events carried out throughout the year. Each of these activities follows a natural and familiar structure. Most NIMSA events usually begin with a public lecture, a symposium to formally mark the opening of the event. This is then followed by academic activities such as quizzes, medical outreaches, health awareness campaigns, sporting activities and games, and finally a congress or general meeting where key decisions are taken. Fortunately enough, I have been able to attend each and every category of events I will be discussing here today, which I believe makes me well positioned to speak on the activities of NIMSA. I will classify these activities into national, regional, local, and international events, as earlier stated in the introduction. The national events of NIMSA include the General Assembly, which is the flagship event of the association and the most important event in the NIMSA calendar. During the General Assembly, delegates from all accredited medical schools in Nigeria converge at a designated host university. A wide range of activities take place, similar to those mentioned earlier. However, the most important component of the GA is the Congress, where members of the National Executive Council are elected and hosting rights for major NIMSA events are contested and awarded. For a medical student association to win hosting rights for any national NIMSA event, the following must be provided, which are a duly completed candidature form signed and stamped by the MSA president, a motivation letter, a detailed description of the available facilities that you could be able to host the NIMSA event, and also a support letter from our superiors, the VC, the provost, or the dean. So the national events whose hosting rights are awarded at the General Assembly are the General Assembly itself, the next General Assembly, the NIMSA Health Week, and the NIMSA Games. The NIMSA Games is a biennial event, as earlier mentioned by Karai. It is held once every 2 years. The last edition was hosted by the University of Lagos, and the next edition will be hosted this year by UBEMSA at Uniben. Here at BUMSA, we were privileged to win the hosting rights of the 2023 General Assembly at Lagos, which was held in November of 2023. It was christened Canon Dabo Renaissance. Those of us that were here in 2023 were able to witness the event. Then there are 2 other activities of NIMSA, which are the National Executive Council meetings and International Health Summits, which are national events organized by the NIMSA president, usually hosted at an MSA of his or her choosing. Both events are high impact, intellectually rich, and absolutely worth attending. I'm trying to speed up my presentation because we've already taken up much time. So the regional activities of NIMSA include the general meetings of the various caucuses. There are 4 caucuses as mentioned in the structure of the association. We have the Northern Caucus, the Southwest Caucus, the South-South Caucus, and the Southeast Caucus. Each of these caucuses have their chairman, and these annual general meetings are organized by the respective caucus chairman. And the hosting rights of each caucus meeting are usually determined at the preceding AGM. And whichever caucus your university belongs to is your caucus. And for us, since we are in the north, all the 19 northern states and the universities within the 19 northern states are attending the annual general meetings of the Northern Caucus. Then there are regional conventions. Each and every region, the 6 geopolitical zones that we have in Nigeria, the president has regional coordinators for each region, and those regional coordinators organize regional conventions annually. Then there are local events. These events include activities done by standing committees, such as this very workshop that is organized under the Standing Committee on Capacity Building. Then all other standing committees organize local events, regional events, and also national events. They can decide to, I think everything was said about standing committees. We know their activities, so I don't need to divulge much on it. Then the international activities. NIMSA engages in international activities through collaborations with global medical students bodies, as mentioned by Karai. We are affiliated to major international associations. There are 2 of them. And we know that as a NIM site, as a boom site, you are already automatically a NIM site, and automatically you are a member of these student bodies, which are the Federation of African Medical Students Association, FAMSA. So the last General Assembly of 2024, the last one was not held in Nigeria. The 2024 FAMSA General Assembly was hosted in Nigeria at Obafemi Awolowo University Teaching Hospital. A fellow colleague from FUD, Muhammad Jafar, emerged as the president of the association. Kara and I were opportune to attend some parts of the program. Then the other body is the International Federation of Medical Students. We know about it. It is the global body uniting medical students worldwide. IFIMSA is the abbreviation. So they hold 2 major meetings annually, both of which we NIM sites are eligible to attend. So one notable activity that Kashim mentioned of the international medical, of the IFIMSA is the International Medical Exchange Program that is coordinated here in NIMSA by the Standing Committee on Professional Exchange, SCOP. And he has also mentioned that in 2023, we hosted a Brazilian medical student who is now Dr. Natasha Rodriguez da Silva. I hosted her in my class during our 500 level posting. She spent 6 weeks with us here in BUK. The program of this exchange, professional exchange, provides you with an opportunity to do your elective posting anywhere in the world. So there are various advantages to attending NIMSA events. I'm just going to mention a few. Networking opportunities. You get to meet medical students from across Nigeria and even beyond, like I have mentioned. You form lifelong professional connections that would help you in the future. You get exposed. Most NIMSA events are hosted in some of the most iconic locations in the country. That gives you cultural, social, and professional exposure beyond the classroom, beyond your colleagues. But there are challenges that we always face. The first one, I think, is inadequate information about the upcoming events. Though this kind of webinars, these capacity building workshops are what help us bridge that gap. We hope the organizers of this program would keep up the good work and make sure that all informations are rightly relayed. Then there are funding constraints. We are often required to pay for registration fees. I think almost all NIMSA activities, you would be required to pay for a registration fee that will cover your feeding, accommodation, transportation within the event. And also, you need to cover your transportation cost from here from here in Kano to wherever the event is taking place, and it's going to be costly. And also, we also face funding constraints because as we attend events, we also want to host events. So we face a lot of funding constraints and logistical constraints for hosting the events. Then the medical school commitments and the demanding nature of our clinical postings, which limits our time for extracurricular activities. Then there is the issue of long distances and poor road networks, especially since most NIMSA activities are hosted, most of the national activities are hosted in the southern part of the country, and it's evident because of the 100 medical schools that I mentioned we have in Nigeria, about 70% are in the south, and you can do the calculation. More events are likely to take place in the south, where there are more medical schools than in the north, and the road is not good. There are many challenges. You can, whenever you have a journey, you can digress on it and look for solutions. Here are some practical solutions. You can have early financial planning. You can save gradually, or even the MSA president, the executive council members of the BUMSA, local officers of standing committees, whatever position you have, you can organize a fundraising and sponsorship drive that can help you to be able to attend these activities. For your academics, you can have proper planning and time management, especially around academic schedules. And you can also utilize virtual participation when available. And for most of these activities, they make it available to be able to attend it virtually. And you can also opt for air travel where possible to reduce stress from long journeys. So in conclusion, what I've presented as the structures, activities, benefits, challenges, and solutions surrounding NIMSA events. With proper awareness, planning, and commitment, every medical student, each and every one of us, can fully benefit from what NIMSA has to offer. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you to all our speakers for the wonderful session. Unfortunately, the ideal thing was that what the Directorate of Capacity Building, our vision was to hold a physical workshop, but several challenges came up, and we still said we had to do this. So that's why you have this virtual session. And for those of us who want to go into NIMSA, you can message me. I'll connect you with the speakers, and hopefully a post-event document containing all they have said will be released. And of course, if you want to start going into NIMSA, you can go into the standing committees. They have released their calls for application. The technical of LF Awal shall know that Ambassador Tisho, who mentioned, they will also release their call for application for team members soon, hopefully. So we'll send them to the group for the Navigating NIMSA, and you'll be able to will be able to help you. Thank you so much, everyone. If you have any questions, of course, you can reach out to me. I wish you good night. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Karaye, our newly minted doctor of MBBS, doctor of surgery, Dr. Abdurrahman, my LOC chairman, my Oga at the top, the one and only welfare. Thank you so much, sir. Ambassador Tishewu, thank you so much, sir. We're really grateful. And the President, Bayero University Medical Students Association, we can still see you here, sir. Thank you so much for giving us the platform to provide this knowledge to our medical students. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone.